with 20 working languages, and this is where we talk about languages and language learning and all sorts of other stuff, and we play games. This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time, and we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks. Perfect. Okay, 3 of 4.
El hospital es...
還元一級の先というのは、本当に誰も知らない字ばっかりでしょうね。私は Okay, we've leveled up and it is time to pick another language. Morfar är tröttare än vanligt. Maten är färdig. And let's see what we're doing when we get back. Greek. We're doing Greek when we get back. Ben neredeyse her gün okula giderim. Fun fact. Turkish. Hello, Shakespeare. How you doing? Fun fact, in Spanish, the word for bishop in chess is alfil. And that actually comes from Arabic. Fil. The same word fil as this. Meaning elephant, because the bishop traditionally was to represent elephant units somehow. Similarly, in Russian, the word for bishop is squab, and that also means elephant. This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time, and we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks. Ça, c'est ça, que c'est ça, non ça, c'est ça. Sol chi sa che nulla sa, ne sa più di chi ne sa. Ecco. Bonjour et bienvenue à Hyperpolyglotting avec Élise. Moi, c'est Élise, traductrice, éditrice et écrivain avec 20 ans de travail. Et ça, c'est la transmission en direct ou en jeu des jeux, surtout GeoGuessr en dernier temps. Et parle des langues, de la linguistique, de l'acquisition des langues. 10-159. Haven't made a huge dent in it, but we're getting there. Okay, gonna do some Chinese now. Nei. Man. Yen. Yo. 5. Ducks are drinking wine. Bangba, okay, Bangbas is duck. Okay, I have now leveled up. Let's see what the XP situation is now. 10,340 out of 12,500. And as always, viewers can choose my next language for me just with a follow and a $5 to my Patreon. Sotto le frasche del capanno 4 gatti grossi stanno. Sotto 4 grossi sassi, 4 grossi e grassi gatti. Un généreux déjeuner régénéré, dégénéraux dégénérés. Un généreux déjeuner régénéré, dégénéraux dégénérés. Facile. Sì, ecco, la gente, è la cosa che mi dice la gente, sempre che scoprisce che quante lingue parlo, io sempre avevo l'impressione, diciamo, di che non era così, non era tan così, ma poi, dopo di aver visto qualche poliglota in YouTube, una delle cose che avevo scoperte era giustamente che la metodologia usata da quella gente poliglota che non avevo mai conosciuta prima, era più o meno la stessa metodologia che usavo io. I find a computer or what? And here's another example. I like to point these out. For this word for or sounds vaguely like hogun and the hok in hogun in Korean or waku in Japanese, and that appears it is the exact same kind of character.
Okay, let me see.
Un chasseur, sa chambre chassée, ses chassés sont son chien de chasse.
Der dicke Dach.
Okay, der dicke Dachdecker deckt dir dein Dach, drum dank dem dicken Dachdecker, dass der dicke Dachdecker dir dein Dach deckt. Hola y bienvenidos al directo de Hyperpolyglotting with Elise. Yo soy Elisa, traductora, escritora y editora y comunicadora social con más de 20 idiomas de trabajo. Y aquí vamos a estar jugando videojuegos, sobre todo GeoGuessr, y hablando de idioma, la mejor forma de aprenderlo y caleta más. Zwei Zwetschgenzweigen zwitscherten zwei tschechische Schwalben. Tres tristes tigres tragaban trigo en un trigal en tres tristes trastos. Oh, I see. This is Diche Ishai Fui, which means, do you want food? But, yeah, are you hungry? That also. How are the boys? Cocine tapon. Poso milao. Pote. Buenese. Proteine. Utros. Protopulo. In the designated chicken eating area, obviously. Okay, still 3 times I have to defeat him. And I don't have a whole lot of health left. This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time. And we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So, anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks.
Monsieur. Livre. Liwe, livre.
Bucks
Mustan kissan paksut posket.
Nadzieję.
Ja.
Ja. Sy. Wysoki. Nadzieję. Proč? Inter. Počkej. A. Sy.
Track 6.
Aspri Petra xes aspri apton ilio xexas proteri. Aspri Petra xes aspri apton ilio xesas proteri.
Ben coginio panas.
Oh boy.
Ad ferad verda ferra ferda vetri.
Jacob. Hefed. 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 Haq. Haq. Haq.
Саша по шоссе.
А Саша по шоссе несла сушку на счастье и сосала сушку. А Саша по шоссе несла сушку на счастье и сосала сушку.
Mwalimu.
Juma ni mwalimu mke.
Hello and welcome to Hyperpolyglotting with Elise. I'm Elise, translator, writer, and editor with 20 working languages, and this is the stream where we're gonna play some GeoGuessr and we're gonna look at some more of the best and perhaps not so best of language learning YouTube. So we're gonna get started with a daily challenge as we've been doing. Once I find the right window. How's everybody doing? Oh, hi, Badger. And helps to have my microphone where it's actually near me when I'm talking. Hopefully you heard all of that anyway. And let's see. Yeah, that's looking okay. How's everybody doing? We're gonna play some daily challenge and try to remember that there's a time control. Okay. Mahavir Medical Stores. Okay. Miratil. Okay, that is Marathi, not Hindi. इसलिए हम महाराष्ट्र में हैं और शायद मुंबई में 4870. Wow, okay. The tiny little bit of Marathi that I have managed to pick up so far, which mostly amounts to knowing what Marathi looks like compared to Hindi, these are both written in Devanagari, has paid off in this rather trivial way. Okay, Supply River Walk, Paper Beach Road. Okay, that's all English. That sign tells me we're probably in Australia. We're in Australia. That's Telstra. Property of West Timor. coastal auto transport. That doesn't really help much because practically every populated area in Australia is coastal. So we could be, I mean, it's fairly green, so I'm thinking probably, I mean, Victoria's a possibility, well, NSW, there are bits of WA, this could be bits of Queensland, for most of the fucking country, basically. So, let's see if we can narrow this down a wee bit. In the minute and a half we've got left to do anything in this round. Okay, I got more of a main road here. And it's a fucking dead end. So we're gonna get back out of here. That wasn't a main road, that was a cul-de-sac. A trap for the unwary GeoGuessr player. Okay. Horses. More of these bins that don't really have very informative signposting on, markings on them. I'm gonna say this is someplace in Victoria though. Maybe Geelong, maybe around there. Fuck. It's Tassie. Tassie always gets you. Okay. Looks like we're in Canusa. We got... Okay, we're in the US probably. We got palm trees there. Well, actually, very beachy looking at it. Roberto y Carlos. Okay. No tengo idea. I mean, I guess it could be California, but it could be a lot of places. My feeling is probably southwestern. Hey, hang on. What's that? Does that give me sometimes these warnings? Employees only, not open to general public. Jerry's landscaping, that doesn't help. Fuck knows which Jerry it is. Okay, we'll just say someplace in Southern California. We're in Texas. Yes, the time control does cut down on accuracy a little bit. Rio Frio. Cold River, okay. Someplace... El Rancho de Martín. Parrilla Bar. Okay, someplace Spanish speaking. Someplace with a bar and grill, so like practically everywhere. We got mountains. Tal vez andino, pero no sé, bueno. Okay. I mean, this is so lush and green and mountainous. There's part of me that thinks maybe Colombia, but also Ecuador. Out of the countries that I've seen on GeoGuessr. Maybe Antioquia. Get some mountainous, green, hilly places in Antioquia. Oh, well. Got it in one. And 5 of 5, and we are... Okay, this has got to be Britain. 100% this is Britain, and there is a sign, and it says Gravesend, we're in Kent. Bloody hell, I know where... I know almost exactly where this must be. Chalk Road. Okay, Gravesend. So, like, on the M25 area. Yeah, just after Northfleet. Denton, Chalk. Oh, Chalk Parish Hall. St. Mary's Community and Church Centre. Lower Higham Road. There we are. $49.99 to finish off the daily challenge. Not bad. Okay, let's play some World. My best score in World is 24,991. I have come very close to it. A couple of times. LPG, eine landwirtschaftliche Produktionsgenossenschaft. Nein. Hadongnamdo. LPG 충전소. 하동남도. 아, 그럼 남초선? 하동. 들어본 적이 없네. 태안, 강원, 강릉. Okay, 그럼. So, like the first time I think I've ever... Wait. Is that all I get? 하동남도 그리고 산맥 완전히 없네. Wait, that's all I get? 오렌지 서비스 코너. 와, 이게 없네. trouble is, there's not a whole lot of distinguishing features. Like, there's mountains, but that's like that's the entire Korea Peninsula is full of mountains. And I've never heard of Hadong-namdo. Because it's a county, Hadong-gun. Okay. So that's like, I think, the first time I have actually been to a non-urban area of Korea on GeoGuessr. Okay, this feels kind of US-y. Oh well, it could be Canada as well. So far there isn't anything that really rules it out. Pafford. Emergency Medical Services. The Service Team LLC. Yeah, LLC, that tends to skew US. You don't really see LLC being the abbreviation for a limited liability corporation outside of the US for the most part, in my experience. Usually elsewhere it's LTD. Yeah, we got a US flag here. Okay. It has a very sort of government building-y feeling to it. Xfinity, Comcast. No, it's just a shitty office building. Okay, so we're in the US almost certainly, though we haven't had definitive Market Ridge Drive. That's like, that tells me nothing. This looks like one of those street signs that will tell you like the city or the town or the county or something. Ridgeland. Living Right. Okay, Ridgeland, that doesn't really tell me shit either. Never heard of Ridgeland. Sounds like the sort of place that could be a lot of places. There's probably more than one place called Ridgeland. Ewing and Ray Foundation Services. No area code either. Irritationally. Okay, there's a UPS. Office of Vital Records and Health Statistics. That is, it looks like it's Mississippi shaped at the bottom. Yep, we're in Mississippi. Ridgeland, Mississippi. And let's see. Okay. Ridgeland, Mississippi. It's okay. Get out of South Korea. Starkville, Tupelo, Bogalusa, Picayune, Gulfport. Guntown, there's a great name. Quitman. We're gonna go to Quitman by way of Guntown. Homochido National Forest. Ridgeland. It's okay, there we go. It's a suburb of Jackson. Just short of Glückstadt. Okay, so we know this much, in a suburb of Jackson, Mississippi. Pearl Orchard. It's kind of a weird name. Okay, let's find a street name. Gulf Eagle Supply. This feels kind of peripheral. Hang on, we'll start out. We were at an intersection practically. Right, Market Ridge, that's the street. Okay. Woodbury? Ratliff, Timber Mill, Tidewater. Okay, let me just make sure I'm actually, yeah, there is Ridgeland. Trace Ridge, McClellan, Ridgecrest, Pebble Creek, Traceland, Dominican, Cotton Hill, Tax assessor, Mr. Appliance of Madison. So that we are no longer in Ridgeland, apparently. Turnberry, whatever the fuck that is. Timber Ridge, South Ridge, Long Meadow, Wheatley, Meadow Ridge. Lots of ridge names, but not Market Ridge. Well. Somewhere around here anyway. 49.84. Okay, not breaking any personal records on this round, but you never know. Okay, so we're by some kind of major highway. People are driving on the right side of it. .de, but it's on a semi, so that doesn't immediately tell us much. Frankfurt 36 Kilometer, Hanau 18 Kilometer und ja, der 66er. So, there we are, 66. $49.80. Not bad. Okay. Very rural and idyllic. Okay, lots of hedges, lots of very overgrown around here. So I'm not thinking we're in England, certainly. English countryside generally is a little bit more manicured than this. Okay. Really, not a whole lot to go on. The Citroen, okay. That suggests we're probably not in the US or Canada. You don't see many Citroens on this side of the Atlantic. Northloo. Horlake. Okay, English names, though. Roughly. No, but this doesn't feel like Britain. The signs kind of fit the kind of British configuration, so maybe it is Britain. Waytown. The Billington herd of pedigree South Devons. Oakhampton! Holy shit! This is not only Britain, this is Devon. This is a part of Devon that I have actually spent time in. Friends of a friend of mine live in Oakhampton. Bloody hell, okay. Yeah, there we go. So, we're in the Dartmoor. There's Brixham, there's Oakhampton, Chagford, Coreyton, Graden, Cross South, Belstone, Sticklepath. Northloo Road. $49.95. Yeah, Oakhampton. I know Oakhampton. Not like really well because it's not the part of the Dartmoor that I've spent the most time in. That would be Ashburton. But I've been through it quite a few times. Okay, definitely not Devon now. Yes, we are no longer in the West Country. Well, the west of something, probably. Oakhampton, fun fact, is like the one part of the Dartmoor that actually has railway service. However, it's kind of useless because the train to and from Oakhampton comes like once a week. So you can't really use it for transport. Well, there is, no, I lie. There is a Heritage Steam Railway, a lovely one in Buckfastleigh that will take you to Totnes. And I've been on it, it's great. The Heritage Railways, these steam railways are really actually amazing. But you're not going to get far with that either, for the most part. I mean, it's not bad actually. It goes often enough that you could actually use it to make onward connections. Subhanallah. It's God forbid, isn't it? Okay, we're someplace Arabic speaking. Okay. ممنوع مرور المعتقلات. I'm not sure. Okay, that's something is prohibited. ممنوع is prohibited. I know that much. Okay, what's this say? أجباري لنقل المثقلات. Okay, something there's something that is like the mightiest of something. That much I know. But beyond that, مثقلات. I feel like that is ringing a vague bell. But so far, all we've got to go on is this is an Arabic-speaking place, and not an Arabic-speaking place that has bilingual signage. Not sure what that actually leaves us with. Oh wait, okay, now we've got bilingual inside. Okay. But that's just a speed limit sign. That doesn't help a whole lot. Feels like we're fairly far from much of anything at the moment. Like, okay. Arabic-speaking places the GeoGuessr has taken me to. Tunisia, Jordan, okay, something that is open 24 hours. Okay, it's like a travel calf. Oh, that reminds me, it turns out that sign for toast in Turkey from last week, I asked a friend of mine in Turkey about that, and toast in Turkish does not mean toast. It means toasties, like a toasted sani, a toasted sandwich. Yeah, here we go. It is a travel calf. Not a very big one. Hawara. Okay, what flag is that? Is that Jordan? I think that's Jordan. Is there a Hawara in Jordan, maybe? I mean, if there is, it's probably not a particularly big place. Qaba, Awhida, Al-Rishas, Al-Mansura, Al-Tayyiba, غور الصافي أي فقو بالدين. Okay, I have a feeling we're probably not far from Amman. We're on probably a major motorway. I mean, that speed limit for cars was 110 kph, so we're gonna keep going and see where this takes us. And after that, I'm taking a little bio break. ربما في الأردن. Let's see. I mean, there's gonna be a sign someplace that gives us distances to other places. It tells us what route we're on or something. Let's see. It seems like it would be pretty easy to get lost in the roads in Jordan if there are so few indications of the of your location. Sounds of an excitable dog emerging. It doesn't help that somebody's been oversticking these signs as well with that exact same picture. I guess somebody drove the length of this motorway. And put these stickers up everywhere. Camel crossing. I've never seen that sign before. I've seen moose crossing. Unfortunately, I've never seen a moose. Oh, here's another of these fucking stickers. They're just putting these everywhere. It's this exact sticker every single time. Like, with no regard to whether those signs might be important to people who are driving here. What's this say? Speed humps. And that seems to suggest that we are coming into a town or city or something. Oh, what is that sign? Is that sign possibly giving us distances to places? No speed limit. What's this off in the distance? It's either military or like a prison. Maybe both. منطقة سكنية. منطقة is area. I'm not sure what the other bit means. Though we are indeed entering a town. New Humoimo? Wait, Huara? الحصن يوسف هبقى Okay, I'm just gonna say it's someplace near Udbud, and then call it a bio break. Oh, other end of the country, 4108. And how did I do? Not too bad, 23,305. Okay, I will be back in just a few minutes. Hi, and welcome to Hyperpolyglotting with Elise. I am Elise, translator, editor, and writer with 20 working languages, and this is where we talk about languages and language learning and all sorts of other stuff, and we play games. This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time, and we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks. Perfect. Okay, 3 of 4. 還元一級の先というのは本当に誰も知らない字ばっかりでしょうね。私は Okay, we've leveled up and it is time to pick another language. Mordfar är tröttare än vanligt. Maten är färdig. And let's see what we're doing when we get back. Greek. We're doing Greek when we get back. Fun fact. Turkish. Hello, Shakespeare. How you doing? Fun fact, in Spanish, the word for bishop in chess is alfil. And that actually comes from Arabic. Fil. The same word fil as this. Meaning elephant, because the bishop traditionally was to represent elephant units somehow. Similarly, in Russian, the word for bishop is squad, and that also means elephant. This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time, and we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks. Ça, c'est ça, che c'est ça, non ça, c'est ça. Sol chi sa che nulla sa, ne sa più di chi ne sa. Ecco.
Bonjour et bienvenue à Hyperpolyglotting avec Élise. Moi, c'est Élise, traductrice, éditrice et écrivain avec 20 ans de travail. Et ça, c'est la transmission en direct ou en jeu des jeux, surtout GeoGuessr en dernier temps. Et parle des langues, de la linguistique, de l'acquisition des langues.
10-159. Haven't made a huge dent in it, but we're getting there. Okay, gonna do some Chinese now. Night.
Man. Bien. Yo. 5. Ducks are drinking wine. Bambas. Bamba. Okay, Bambas is duck. Okay, I have now leveled up. Let's see what the XP situation is now. 10,340 out of 12,500. And as always, viewers can choose my next language for me just with a follow and a $5 to my Patreon.
Sotto le frasche del capanno 4 gatti grossi stanno. Sotto 4 grossi sassi, 4 grossi e grassi gatti. Un généreux déjeuner régénéré des généraux dégénérés. Un généreux déjeuner régénéré des généraux dégénérés. Facile. Sì, ecco, la gente è la cosa che mi dice la gente, sempre che scoprisce che quante lingue parlo, io sempre avevo l'impressione, diciamo, di che non era così, non era tan così, ma poi dopo di aver visto qualche poliglota in YouTube, una delle cose che avevo scoperte era giustamente che la metodologia usata da quella gente poliglota che non avevo mai conosciuta prima, era più o meno la stessa metodologia che usavo io.
I buy a computer or what? And here's another example. I like to point these out. For this word for or sounds vaguely like Hogun and the Hok in Hogun in Korean or Waku in Japanese, and that appears it is the exact same kind of character.
Okay, let me see.
Un chasseur, ça son chassé, ses chassés sont son chien de chasse.
Der dicke Dach.
Okay, der dicke Dachdecker deckt dir dein Dach, drum dank dem dicken Dachdecker, dass der dicke Dachdecker dir...
Okay, and I'm back. So, let's do another round. And it immediately makes me think. In Britain, except for these signs don't necessarily look 100% right for Britain. Danger de mort? Yeah, okay. We are in France, probably. ADPE. Ouais, FR, c'est la France. Okay, so where though? South of France, maybe? It has that kind of feeling to it. Let's see, maybe if we get into the more urbanized part of this, we'll have some clues. Maybe that was not the place we needed to go. Ici, publicité. Pierre Fit, centre-ville. C'est quoi Pierre Fit? Bokanowski. Et c'est quoi ça? Émile Zola. Sarcelles. Looking at these from the wrong side. Place de Lombert, Place Jules Verne. Route Paris. Rue Jean Durand. Okay. Pierre Fit. Never heard of it. Orthopédie. Star. Ça ne dit rien non plus. Okay. Let's just see. Let's get into France and see what we can see. Stop. Sisteron, Arles, Aix-en-Provence. Le Vigan. I feel like this is someplace kind of suburban. Possibly coastal. Less certain about that. Let's see. Got anything? Potentially useful here. Oh, we got that sign. That could be something. Hello, if you're just joining. Pierre Fitzstin. C'était Jardin. We are someplace in France. Place that I'm not actually familiar with, called Pierre Fitzstin. Oh, here we go. Here's this'll. Sorry. This'll clear it up. Okay, Paris. La Courneuve, Saint-Denis, Arnouville, Tunis, and okay. That helps. Okay, there's Saint-Denis. La Courneuve, okay, that helps. Le Bourget, Stin, on y est. Rue Jean Durand, Georges Sand, Damien, Émile Zola. What was the first street? Let's get back to where we started. What street are we on here? Avenue du Colonel Roll-Tanguy. Poitiers-Laudet. Rue Toussaint-Louverture. Fittingly attached to rue Avenue de Stalingrad. Hey River Rune, how you doing? Jules Védrine. Maurice Bokanovsky, Pierre Fitz. Okay, yeah, here we go. Rue Rosa Luxembourg. Jean Durand, Georges Sand. Colonel Roll-Tanguy. Okay, there we go. Not bad. One thing I'm finding... Ah, that's Sarcelles. Okay, yeah. So, is... It looks like maybe the place to be to actually get translation work is the ATA directory. I haven't actually hooked one yet, but I've come very close. I've got a couple of serious inquiries that I'm waiting to hear back from, and that is so much better. Like, the main, like, translator database I'm on, so many of, like, most of what you get is just complete bullshit. So did I go up? $49.99. Oh, well, that can happen. Okay, we are actually in with a chance to beat a personal record now. At the same time as I am, for the first time in ages, in with a chance to have some decent paying translation work. Wonder of wonders. Waiting to hear back on a couple of things. Either one of them will simplify my life no end, or just make it possible. Okay, we're in Canusa. We'll see which part of Canusa we're in soon enough. Oh, hang on. That was a clear indicator that I hadn't skipped over it. Bollocks, come on. Speed limit 20. Okay, we're in the US. So the next question becomes, where? Samaria Goretti. That doesn't really help, although that just means we are in the presence of some amount of Catholicism. Glad to hear your week's going better than the last one. Mine is as well. And if I get an affirmative answer on a couple of these jobs I'm hearing about, it will be the best month work-wise that I've had in, like, God, like 2 years maybe? And if it turns out that it is entirely down to the fact that I have rejoined Meadowood neighborhood, that rhymes and doesn't help me very much. If it turns out that that is entirely down to, like, rejoining the American Translators Association, I will be kicking myself because, oh, hang on, what have we got here? I saw a new email, but it's something new from Aaron Reed, who I subscribe to on Substack. If it was going to be one of these potential clients that I may have on the hook, I wanted to check that out because, God, like, it has been a very, very, very fucking long dry spell, and if it is entirely down to the fact that I was just in the wrong place, like, if being on the ATA directory is all I needed to be doing, I will be kicking myself, because that was so bloody easy. Okay, US 18, US 151. Not sure exactly where either of those are. Oh, me too. Me too. I do that too sometimes. Oh, well, there's US 150. What was it, 18 and 151? Okay. There's US 19. So, everybody cross your fingers. I think on the stream tonight we will probably be taking a bit of a look at the remarkable statement that Counterpoints has issued as just proof that it is indeed possible to do worse with your platform than just be totally silent on one of the most important issues of the day. Okay, this will be more helpful actually. Raymond Road, that doesn't help me any. Oh, this, wait, what just happened? No, I don't want to be here, I want to be... Yeah, this is not very, I mean... Insurance companies fear the beard, do they? Midvale Boulevard. Midvale, is that Texas? Probably, it looks like maybe it is in Texas, actually. Hoping this is an interstate that we're about to get onto. Or are near. Because that would give us considerably more options here. Dodgeville. Never heard of Dodgeville. Ooh. Mile 258 west US 12. Like a bunch of US routes are coming together here. UW, is that Washington? Hmm. Yeah, there is a fair bit of that in the US. Route 2. Yes. Not too many W's. .26. Wait, there's an extra Atlantic City in Wyoming. Wait, Route 16. 14. Pleasantdale. .16. Bar none. I did see 151. 189. 191. 287. It's a town that's just called Encampment. Doesn't say much for the housing options. I'm pretty sure the University of Wisconsin was like UWI. 10, 12, but here we go. 151, okay. Okay, 151. Okay, that is right. 19, 51, 18, and 151. Fitchburg. Yeah, okay, it must be around here. Token Creek. $49.26. Okay. Hariatua Avenue, Kapawai Boulevard. We are in Aotearoa. Someplace. Yeah, these are definitely Maori street names. I mean, statistically, we're probably in North Island. Probably not far from Auckland. Gate C for what exactly? Bruce Pullman Park. Auckland Institute of Studies. That's vague. The Institute of Studies. And what do you do at your institute? Well, we study. What do you study? Stuff. Whew. Okay, so that doesn't help much. Because I don't see Bruce Pullman Park anywhere. Oh, hang on, that was a bin. Bin might tell me the local authority's name. It was too blurry. Wait, what just happened? Am I going into somebody's driveway? Marquee hire combo. Scaffold hire. Okay, none of that really helps much. A roundabout. Airfield Road, Cleveland. Cleveland. Bruce Pullman Park, there we go. Takanini. I wasn't wrong after all. It was indeed a suburb of Auckland. $49.97. 4 of 5. Okay, this does not look like NZ anymore. Russia, maybe? Greece. Okay, we're in Greece someplace. Don't get Greece very often. And I've never done very well when it is Greece because it's usually some rural area. And the thing about Greece is it's a whole bunch of islands, which is one of the worst configurations for GeoGuessr other than Russia and Brazil. Eis βιομηχανία ειδών συσκευασίας. Βιομηχανία, industry, Samia. Kristalla, Dimitriou Vasiliou. Okay, it's a glassworks, apparently. Yeah. My Greek has not deserted me yet on this round. So, we're in some Greek industrial estate. Copileser, Stranza, Psalidi, Emboria, Aluminio, Sidiru, Steel, Aluminio, obvious. Inologico, Ergastírio, Químico, Inologico, Triantafilo. Sorry. Vulkanizator. First time I've ever seen vulcanizing being offered outside of South America. Although the way the EU did Greece, they're practically an honorary member of South America. Techno scrap. That's a new kind of EDM where it's EDM but you have a mosh pit and people fight in it. I mean, I'm getting a strong feel for the kind of area this is, but so far I have not seen a single sign that tells me where it is, except that it's in Greece. I'm gonna say someplace near Athens. I wasn't entirely wrong. It was not far from Athens. And here we go for the last round, and we are in a thicket. Like, I can barely see the road. No unauthorized vehicle. Road Traffic Act 1988, Section 34. Okay. Road Traffic Act 1988, Section 34. That sounds like we're in Britain. Or at least someplace under British jurisdiction, and damn it. That just took me back to where I was trying to get away from. There we go. There we are. Okay, the last time it was on one of these, it turned out to be right in the middle of the Dartmoor. Well, on the edge of it in Oakhampton. It's a place I've actually been. Gorgeous area. And you have to book the taxi a week in advance. Cornwood, Corntown, Lee Mill, Ivy Bridge, Moore. Okay, none of these things actually mean anything to me, but that sign certainly confirms my suspicion that we're in Britain. That layout is very British. So is this layout of the countryside. All these hedgerows. Each of which is like just a fascinating little mini ecosystem as well. A friend of mine who lives in Dartmoor actually was showing me what all comes together in one of these hedgerows, and it's amazing. So it's not just the one plant. There's like a main plant, and then there are like a million backup singers. Backup singers? No. I'll go with it. Arch Bridge. High vehicles use the middle of road. That looks like a Brunel. Rail track on. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that design makes me think it's probably an IK Brunel design. Like, a lot of the infrastructure in Britain, a lot of the best looking infrastructure anyway, was designed by one guy in the Victorian period. And that is Isambard Kingdom Brunel, whose name sounds like it should be on a map of Middle Earth, but he was an actual guy in the Victorian period, an engineer, and there are tons of just amazing bridges that are the result of his work. All over Britain you see these just incredible bridges, very monumental, and that's him. He did them. Well, designed them anyway. A lot of other people we've never heard of actually worked on the things, but he put together the blueprints. Okay, so we're definitely in Britain. That much is certain at this point. We're in the countryside, which doesn't help much. Cadley Cottage. Yes, we are very much in the countryside. Oh, it's a bin van. Cycle for the south. We're back. Bloody hell. We're back in Devon. We're back in Devon. The South Hams. South Hams. That does not actually mean anything to me. But we're back in Devon again. I love Devon. Devon's gorgeous. Twice to Devon, one of my favorite places. Okay, but so we're in Devon, but where? There's a fair bit of Devon. Cadley, Butley, Godney. I was thinking, you get a lot of names ending in Leigh, L-E-I-G-H, in the West Country. Black Dog is also apparently a place name around here. Neat. Winkley, Idisley, Giddisham, Chudley, Otterham, Crackington, great name, great name. Holcombe, Cookbury, Sheepwash. It's a town called Sheepwash. I do not, however, see Cadley, probably because it is like 2 houses. Butts Bear Cross. The further you zoom in on the West Country, the more ridiculous the place names get. Blunts. Sounds good, actually. Oh no, that we're already in Cornwall. Ah, Buckfast Lee. Home to Buckfast Tonic Wine, which you can't buy in Buckfast Lee. You have to go to the next town over to Ashburton to buy it, because it has such a bad reputation. It is associated with youth criminality in Scotland. Cadbury. Puddington. Wolford is worthy. Beach Road. Well, there's got to be a sign for a place bigger than Cadley. Okay, have a good evening. Hello, Sean. We're someplace in Devon. In the South Hams, which is a part of Devon that I've heard of, but I don't know where it is on the map. Near a town called Cadley, and we're trying to find out whether maybe there's other information and that might simplify this. This NHS Lee Mill unit. Privatized and handed over to fucking... Well, this one is taking longer than usual. Okay, here we go. Exeter and Plymouth. A38. We're by the A38. At that, thank you. That's what I needed. A37. Neither X. Oh, Nether X. Stoke Cannon. Samford Peveril. White Ball. Wait, is that the entire A38 there? No, it isn't. Well, okay. Someplace around here. Nope. Well, not too far off, but quite a bit south. View results. 24,597. And no, I'm not going to upgrade. I got no fucking money. Which, if anyone would like to help with that particular problem, here's how you can. If you can't, you shouldn't feel under any kind of pressure to, but if you can and you'd like to, it is always appreciated. And now for our last 25 minutes, I'm going to change gears and see what we've got in the world of videos. Let's see. Let's get my chat widget where I can see it. Always on top. Okay, let's see what we've got. Busu and where every language app goes wrong sounds interesting. I think we're gonna check that out. It's Days and Words, who I have a lot of time for. Drop the link in chat in just a sec.
Busu is an online language platform that claims to teach you real.
Here we go for anyone who wants to check out this video in full.
World language skills by connecting you with native speakers, and boasts full courses from beginner to upper intermediate in any of 15 languages, even offering advanced courses in some of those languages.
Okay. We've got a leaderboard. That's always a good mark of a true language learning app.
Smoke, you guys. 5 years ago, I reviewed it and I really liked it.
And talk about why it is the best language learning app.
Back then, it felt like a nice combination of virtually living in the country and being instructed in the building blocks of the language. But 5 years is a long time, especially when you've since learned a lot about what language learning really is.
No, that is not how this works.
Additionally, we've seen the emergence of language and language learning tools that we once would not have dreamt of. But sadly, the most popular language app, and I think you know which one I'm talking about, has only gotten worse.
It's been
And it started out shit.
an hour and a half, and I've only finished those 2
to see if Busu has followed suit and become a joke,
Really, that was the lesson?
or moved a step in the right direction, I spent 3 whole days testing Busu Premium, this time in most of the languages that it offers.
Complete beginner A1 Korean in 65
So,
days.
have the childish, useless games that seem to pass for language learning in some apps infected even the once more mature apps like Busu? Or is it still worthwhile for a language learner to be looking at Busu Premium?
I have never heard of Busu, I should note. I mean, I guess I've heard the name before. I think I've only heard the name because I've had this video on my list of things to react to.
think
I've never
it's
used it.
relatively good at what it does.
In short, can you learn a language with Busu?
How much of this?
Probably, I'm gonna say, like, depending on what we mean by learn a language, probably not. At best, maybe you end up getting a bit of an introduction to a language. But
do you feel
we'll
like
see.
you would need to do?
My name's Lamont, we do language learning stuff on this channel, and if that interests you, maybe subscribe and let's do it. Shiana chicos! First of all, I want to say that this is like my 9th or 10th attempt at making this video, because every time I thought I'd wrapped up everything I wanted to say about Busu, I would think to check something else and need to add to my review. Basically, Busu, it's good and it's bad.
Okay,
And if
that
they
sounds
wanted
like
to make just the good,
that sounds par for the course when it comes to language apps.
good parts of it, they could make it all good, but they don't do that. Okay, so on screen you can see the languages that they're offering. That's 2 new languages since my last review 5 years ago. 5 years, 2 languages. Seems a little bit slow, but anyway.
I mean, I would say slow is not inherently a bad thing. If they're taking that much time and they've only added 2 languages because they're being thorough and making sure they've got really good material in those languages, then I would say that's a good thing. Like, as opposed to, like, Duolingo, for example, which will just fucking slap a language on there, and clearly nobody's bothered to do even elementary quality control. So, but
The new
okay.
languages are Korean and Dutch. That now gives it 15 languages overall, including English. And look, it makes sense for me to just dive into the major flaw that I think holds Busu back. At first, I tested it in German, Russian, and even Korean, and I found that it just moved too slowly through those courses for anyone over the age of 4. So I tried the Dutch course, but this time, since I'd found German too easy, and I already speak Swedish, I scrolled all the way to the bottom of the Dutch A1 section and just had a crack at the A1 certificate test. Now,
Okay, interesting.
according to Busu's program,
I mean, the first question I have is the A1 certificate, is this like a legit A1 certificate test, like, designed in such a way that if you pass it, you have a reasonable shot at passing the actual A1?
it should take you around 20 days at something like 15 minutes a day to reach a level where this certificate would be achievable. That's 20 days, 15 minutes a day. So I wondered if it would be possible to compress those 20 days into 0 days and just take the test, because English is a Germanic language, and Swedish just teaches to say "Tjena, Lamont heter jag." That's an even more Germanic language. So I skipped straight to the Dutch A1 test without doing any lessons.
And I'm gonna say my immediate thought is that he will probably find it somewhat difficult because there's lots of stuff that is quite different in Dutch
And look, I'll be honest.
to Swedish. I mean, it is in many ways. There's a lot that is very similar to German. There would be a lot you'd have to get used to as a Swedish and English speaker doing Dutch, I think. But
I was
A1,
kind of
who
confident.
knows?
I was like, I think I could pass this, and then I can say, hey, I learned Dutch in 20 minutes, which is an awesome YouTube title. But I did not expect this.
No one expects a VPN shark who can talk.
What? No, I knew you could talk. Did you get bigger?
A little rude of you to ask, but yes, too many hot dogs at ball games.
Oh yeah, you've been going to the game so that people who are in blackout zones can still watch their teams play.
That's right, plus I've been to Europe like a million times since we spoke.
Come on, no one can get to another continent that quickly. It took me 24 hours and cost $3 grand.
Have you learned nothing?
Probably not really.
Surfshark is VPN. I can translate talking. Put the link in the description.
To get 91% on an exam that Busu wanted you to...
Anyway, I'm off to Sweden.
No way, can I come with you?
No! You're making a video. Get back to work.
So, as I was saying...
part of the reason I like this channel, I mean, he has good ideas on language learning, and I appreciate that because there's so much shit on YouTube, but also, like, his production values inspire me to do better.
I did the Dutch A1 exam with literally no study at all, but I still thought that maybe I could pass. But I didn't expect to get 91%.
See, okay, that is way better than I would have expected, because, like, there are things that you would not expect, like, with Swedish, like, the pronouns, you know, it's ja, du, han, hon, etc. And, you know, I mean, you have, like, jij, for example, in Dutch, which does not really immediately correspond to do or you, unless you just happen to work it out by process of elimination. But I mean, I don't know what an A1 Dutch exam looks like. I wonder if he's going to show us.
On an exam that Busu wanted you to take after 3 weeks. And okay, I understand that someone who speaks Swedish is going to have an advantage in starting out in Dutch.
Not a huge one. It's not like, I mean, I would say if he spoke German, then I would be then I would imagine he could probably get 100% on the thing. On an A1 exam. Because, like, what is an A1 exam? That's nothing, really. But, I mean, it's not nothing. There is, you have to know some things, but if you know German, you can probably just sort of bullshit your way through an A1 Dutch.
I got a bit lucky with some of the 50-50 guesses, but that doesn't matter. I should not even be able to get 70%, let alone 90%, on a test that's designed to be taken after like 5 or 6 hours of study, and I took after 0 hours. My question isn't, why is this test...
This is one of the many reasons why I don't put much stock in standardized testing.
So easy. Rather, why are we supposed to do so many lessons before taking this level of test? If I, or if anyone else, and even someone who only speaks English, took this test after 1 hour of good instruction in Dutch, I think you'd score 100% and you would not have to guess anything. In my opinion, Busu is taking maybe 5 or even 6 times as long as it needs to teach you the basics in a language like Dutch for the average language learner. So it's a complete waste of time.
Well, I mean, to me the question, it sounds like it's skippable, at the very least in the paid version. So, I mean, if it's skippable, but you've got more teaching than you need, if the teaching is good, then I don't honestly think that's necessarily the worst thing that you could do. Because if you have, like, this A1, and you could potentially knock it out in much less time, but if you're not feeling confident, and you would like some more instruction before you go for it, then it's available. I mean, assuming it's good, assuming the lessons themselves are good, and I'm sure he's going to get into that because he does tend to talk about the content of the lessons and the style of them and things like that. I mean, I don't think that's the worst thing, actually.
I can end the review there, right? Well, not quite.
Okay.
Because where Busu starts making a little more sense is in these specific courses. See, when you select a language, it doesn't just start you out in that language, it gives you options for different courses within the language.
Interesting, okay.
And normally I find these also to be a complete waste of time, because you see that there are things like German for business, but it says that the level is A2. I want to know how anyone is doing business in German if they're at an A2 level.
Well, I mean, you could thematically, the way it seems to me is you can get to an A2 level and have a somewhat of a thematic focus in one direction or another.
Even B2 German would make it tricky to do business in. And because language doesn't exist in these neat little bubbles anyway, I don't believe that a lot of these have any real logic behind them other than to make the student believe that they're learning the things relevant to that niche.
And maybe they are. I mean, you'd have to look at it. But yeah, I mean, at the A1, A2 level, you're not going to be dealing with too much specificity.
Normally, I think that. But some of these courses actually do make sense. For example, these Spanish ones seem decent enough. Okay, complete...
Learn Spanish with El País, the leading newspaper in Spain. I mean, that's not bad.
Latin American...
Complete Latin American Spanish just sounds like nonsense. Because the thing is, there is no such thing as just Latin American Spanish. There are, like, over 20 Latin American Spanishes. Like, Mexico itself has more than one way of speaking Spanish. Nej, jag ska inte någonsin bruka TikTok. Det blivit censurerat nå brukar det. Fuck, my camera has just rebooted on me, but also we're kind of almost done
Spanish is
for the evening, so I'm just gonna go with it for the last few minutes.
A stretch, because Latin American Spanish is like 40 dialects of Spanish.
Yeah,
But they're
absolutely.
basically saying that you can do the entire Spanish courses A1 through to B2 without using European Spanish, which is good. Then there are things like advanced exam.
Yeah, I mean, and at the A1 level, you're probably going to be more or less okay, but the pronunciations are very different. I mean, it's not just vocabulary. I mean, there's lots of differences in pronunciation. But if we're just talking about, like, A1, A2, I mean, I don't think you would go too far wrong with that. Okay.
And preparation, which focuses on things that you're likely to have to read and speak about in exams, and it is quite advanced, but it's nothing that you shouldn't be able to do if you really are at a C1 level. So it's useful if you're actually at B2 and trying to kind of sneak through one of these exams as though you're C1, which I think is what a lot of people are trying to do when they take those exams anyway. In Russian, there's one for the Cyrillic alphabet just by itself, which makes sense when it is indeed just an alphabet and everything.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to get used to a writing system, I mean, that is something that makes sense that you have to do something specific on. Because once you have the writing system down, then you can potentially make all sorts of progress just by reading, if you find the right things to read.
Is going to have to go through that alphabet, and it doesn't take very long to learn, so it's good that they have that option. And the same thing exists for both Korean and Arabic, and again, that is how I would prefer to do it if I were learning those languages. In Japanese, there's a course for each of the three writing systems. I don't know how exhaustive they are, but it's good that you can focus on whichever one you want to focus.
Learn, okay, A1 to B2 level kanji, so I'm not sure what kanji you would do in that.
So French is lacking anything useful when it comes to the specific courses, and being so similar to English, I'd say if you really feel that you must use Busu to learn French, just skip straight to B1. You'll pick it up. The A1 and A2 courses are going to spend probably 30 hours total teaching you what you could probably learn with a few good YouTube videos. And just going off script here for a second, I want to clarify that I'm not being all like, oh, French is so easy, I learned it in 2 days. It's just that they're going to spend a whole lesson that takes like 6 minutes teaching you bonjour. And it's like, you know that already. Okay, you've lived in the world, you know what the French for hello is, and you know tons of other words as well. You don't need to do the A1 and A2 courses in something like this. English has a lot of specific courses, and some of them do look okay, but I doubt that anyone who's watching this video is actually interested in taking any of them anyway. Lastly, I want to talk about Chinese, which has a character course which puzzled me because it says that the level is A1, and I
Okay. I mean, how many characters are you doing in A1?
just thought, yeah, but isn't like the whole language just made of 50,000 characters? I mean,
Well, more, I mean, potentially more than that, but they divide them up into, like, the more common, the less common.
the characters can't all be at A1, but what they mean is that you can start it at A1, and it is quite a long course that takes you through all the characters.
I mean, I would imagine not all of them, like, because, like, native speakers, educated native speakers don't have all of them, because there are just so many of them. And a lot of them you just don't really need, because they don't show up that often.
And that's why I'm bringing it up last, because it moves us on to a different topic. The Chinese characters course teaches you the most common Chinese characters, as you'd imagine, along with the words that they are used in. And
Okay. So, I mean, so far this does not sound terrible, but I'm noticing the time, and it is time to wrap up, so I'm going to do that. Have a good evening. I'm going to look into dinner things, and I will see you tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Hope you've enjoyed the stream. Thank you for joining in. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, my fucking mouse has run out of battery at this exact moment. Ah, there we go.